Hello, grade 7. I am Nashreen Ahmad from Sultan Kudarat State University, but you can call me Ma'am Nash. Today, we're going to discuss all about monsoons. But before we are going to proceed to our proper discussion, let's have a recap. In our previous lesson, we have learned about the sea and land breeze. Can you still remember your lesson about it? Let us have some practice exercises to refresh your mind. Put a check on the blanks provided if the statement is about sea breeze, and X if the statement refers to a land breeze. Write these on your activity notebook. Okay, very good. Our objectives for today: at the end of the lesson, I can describe the two pronounced monsoons in the Philippines. I can identify the weather systems in the Philippines, and also I can enumerate the benefits that we could from monsoons. But before our lesson proper, let's have an activity called Answer Me. I am going to show you questions and you have to answer. Let us start. First question, southeast monsoon, also known as hanging. What could it be? Hanging habagat. Very good. Next question. Our next question would be, the northeast or hanging amihan is cold because it comes from cold areas or countries such as Siberia and China in the Asian continent. Is it true or false? The answer is true. Very good question. Northeast monsoon, also known as hanging. What could it be? Amihan. Hanging amihan. Very good. Next question would be, what are the two types of monsoon? Yes, the northeast monsoon and the southeast monsoon. Very good. Last question. Monsoons occur when the air moves toward the place where warm air is rising. Is it true or false? Of course, it is true. Very good. Now, let's look at the pictures below. What do these photos have in common? The pictures show heavy rainfall. Do you know what monsoons are? Many people think that monsoons are rain, but they are not. Monsoons are wind systems experienced by our country, the Philippines, and many other countries as well. Now, what is a monsoon? Monsoon is a seasonal shift in wind direction and pressure distribution that causes a change in precipitation. It is derived from the word moism, the Arabic word for season. A monsoon often refers to a rainy season. These winds usually bring abundant rainfall to their country, and this is probably the reason why they have been mistaken for rains. But while the sea breeze and land breezes happen during daytime and nighttime, the monsoons occur from season to season. Both land and sea breezes occur locally, along with coastal areas. The monsoons affect greatly a much wider area, including a large body of water and land. There are these types of monsoon. In the Philippines, there are two types of monsoons. There are southwest monsoons and northeast monsoons. The northeast monsoon happens from October to March. The northeast monsoon, also known as hanging amihan, comes from the northeast and moves toward the south. Why does the wind move or blows from from north to south? It is because there is a low pressure area in the south, near Australia, during that time. The northeast or hanging amihan is called because it comes from cold areas or countries such as Siberia and Mongolia in the Asian continent. Next would be the southwest monsoon. Southwest monsoon happens from July to September. The southwest monsoon or hanging habagat comes from southwest and moves toward the north. That means that the low pressure area is no longer in the south. This time, it is located to the north of the Philippines, in the Asian continent preferably. Northeast monsoon, both hanging amihan and hanging habagat, bring a lot of rain in the Philippines. This is because the winds pass over the bodies of water which supply a lot of moisture. The hanging amihan passes through the Pacific Ocean before it reaches the Philippines, bringing a lot of rains in the eastern part of the country. While the southwest monsoon habagat passes through the Indian Ocean and West Philippine Sea before it arrives in the country, resulting in the experience of the rain by the western portion of the country. Now, let's proceed to the benefits of the monsoons. The monsoons, such as hanging amihan and habagat, affect greatly the people in various ways. Most of the farmers welcome the monsoons because it supplies the rain for their crops, while fishermen are not happy because it is not safe for them to go fishing when it is raining very hard and the wind is blowing also. Fish pen owners also worry about monsoons because when the fish pen overflows, they lose all the fish within. Monsoons greatly help in filling our weather dams or water dams, and the stored water is used for many purposes such as domestic use, such as drinking and washing, irrigation, and even for electricity generation. The Philippines have a tropical climate, meaning the weather is generally hot and quite humid. The region only experiences 3 seasons. Hot and dry summer between March and May are known as tag-init. A wet season between June and November are known as tag-ulan. And a cooler dry season between December and February known as tag-lamig. Now, here are the weather systems that will affect the weather conditions in the Philippines. First would be the high and low pressure areas. A low pressure area, or known as LPA, is a region where the atmospheric pressure is lower. A low pressure system develops when warm air rises from the Earth's surface. In a low pressure area, winds rotate in anti-clockwise direction around the center of the system, which is suggestive of some weather in terms of precipitation, clouds, rise in temperature, and strong winds. A high pressure area, or HPA, is a region where the atmospheric pressure at the surface is greater than its surrounding areas. Winds within the high pressure areas flow in a clockwise direction, indicative of good weather conditions. Areas of high pressure are usually associated with clear and sunny weather, as they are the direct opposite of a low pressure system. Next would be the intertropical convergence zone, or commonly known as ITCZ. ITCZ is the reason why we get a lot of thunderstorms during certain months of the year. As warm air rises over the equatorial areas the air in the surrounding will move in. Air from north of the equator and south of the equator will then meet and converge converge at the place where warm air is rising. Areas north and south of the equator are called tropics. Thus, we know why it is called the intertropical convergence zone. It is the place where winds and the tropics meet, rise and form clouds, resulting in thunderstorms during certain times of the year. The ITCZ brings heavy rains to parts of the country sometimes between May to October, as you can see in the picture. Next would be the easterly wave, a warm wind from the east which usually occurs when a Mihan starts weakening and also brings warmer weather. Easterly wave is a migratory wave-like disturbance of the tropical easterlies. It is a wave along with a broad easterly current and moves from east to west. Next would be the tail end of a cold front. The convergence of the winds from east and northeast could also bring rains. A cold front is the leading edge of a cooler mass of air, replacing at ground level a warmer mass of air, which lies within a fairly sharp surface through of low pressure. It forms in the wake of an extratropical cyclone at the leading edge of its cold air advection pattern, which is also known as the cyclone's dry conveyor belt circulation. Now, to understand our topic, I want to give you an activity called Feel My Hand. In this activity, you have to draw a hand figure in your activity notebook and fill the hand with 5 benefits that we could get from monsoons. Okay? Okay, very good. Next activity is called Matchy Matchy. In this activity, you have to match the following pictures to the different weather systems that affect the weather conditions in the Philippines. Write the letter of your answer on your activity notebook. Okay, the first picture, you have to choose what kind of weather condition is this in the column B. Okay, next picture. Next picture. Next picture. Okay, I will check your activity notebook later, and thank you for listening to our discussion for today, and see you to our next class.